Hello students, today we will go ahead with the business services. The next topic, that is the types of the banks. In the previous lecture we have seen like how the business services are existing and then how it is being helpful to the businesses, enterprises. We have seen different kinds of services. In that, the very first service is banking service we are going through. We'll just start the types of the banks. Let us go ahead with the first type of bank is commercial bank. The commercial bank play an important role in economic and social development of a country. We have seen like there is one Apex Bank which exists. The Apex Bank in India is Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI. But RBI doesn't deal with accepting the deposits and lending money to the public. Public cannot open the account to the Apex Bank, that is the Central Bank of India, Reserve Bank of India. So commercial banks are existing. They perform the functions which are stated below. The primary function, that is accepting the deposits from the public and lending the money, giving the money as loan. Secondary functions also are there, that is agency functions and utility functions. What are these in detail we are going to see definitely. Right now let us go ahead with. See, in India the commercial banks are divided again into three groups: public, private, foreign. What is public sector and private sectors we know, we have learnt it in 11th. Now here we are going to see what are public sector banks. The banks where the majority of the capital is held by government. Like the example is given over here on your screen, the State Bank of India, Bank of India. There are many banks. I can give you examples, Bank of Baroda. So these are the public sector banks where majority of the capital is held by government. Then the next type of commercial bank is private sector banks. These are owned by the groups or group of individuals. Like the examples are Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, etc. Now, third part is the foreign banks. These banks are the banks which are established outside the country, India, but these banks have branches in India, such as the examples given over here: Citibank, HSBC, that is Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, then Federal Bank of America. So these are few foreign banks which are established outside the country India. Okay, so they are known as foreign banks. The next type of bank is cooperative bank. In India, the cooperative banks are registered under Indian Cooperatives Societies Act. It is being regulated under the Banking Regulation Act. So cooperative bank has to be registered under the Indian Cooperative Societies Act, and also it will be regulated by the Banking Regulation Act, which is applicable for all the banks. The cooperative banks are popularly established in semi-urban and rural areas where the cooperation exists, where people come together to do some work, to do some commercial activities, and the benefit goes in favor of their members. The main aim of the cooperative bank is to provide the credit to economically backward people, to provide credit to the people who are the members of them mostly. Then the socially economically backward class, that is the marginal farmers, the small scale units which exist in that particular local area, semi-urban or rural. So second type of bank is cooperative bank. Let us go ahead with what is cooperative bank exactly. Now, the cooperative bank works at different levels. The first level of it is primary credit societies. Primary, that is very essential, very basic, fundamental. So the primary credit cooperative societies work is at village level. They collect the deposits from members and the common public. They also get the funds from the state cooperatives or state cooperative bank rather, and from the district cooperative bank also, for the purpose of lending it to the people who are in need of funds or in need of capital. Then the second level of cooperative bank is district central cooperative bank. These banks operate at district level. They obtain the deposits from the public at the district level and also get funds from the state cooperative bank for the purpose of lending whenever it is required. So the second level of the cooperative bank is district central cooperative bank. They work at district level and they can take help from the state cooperative banks also. The third level, which we talked about cooperative banks, the third level is state cooperative bank OPCOs. This bank operates at state level. These banks provide funds to the central cooperative bank and primary credit societies also, as and when it is required. The state cooperative banks also perform the functions of monitoring over district bank and credit cooperative societies. So the state cooperative bank do have monitoring. They do try to check out, observe the functioning of district bank and credit cooperative societies. So this is the third level of cooperative bank, that is state cooperative bank. The next type of bank is industrial development banks. As it suggests, it must be involved in development of industrial. You may sense it. These are the financial institutions that provide medium and long-term funds, capital, to the enterprises, to the business firms. Medium term, that is for 3 to 5 years, and long term for 10 to 15 years. Some examples are given over there on the slide. The examples of industrial development banks are IFCI, that is Industrial Finance Corporation of India. Then State Finance Corporation, that is SFC. Maharashtra State Finance Corporation, MSFC. These are few banks which are dealing in development of industries in the country and in the Maharashtra state especially. Now, the industrial development banks, what are their functions? Let us see one by one. See, they have a provision of medium and long-term funds to the businesses, to the enterprises for the purpose of expansion and for the purpose of modernization. So if anybody wants to develop the business, expand the business, make the changes in the obsolete technology, turn it to the modern technology, so definitely there is a provision by industrial development banks. Underwriting of shares. Underwriting is guaranteeing the shares to be issued by public limited companies. Now the companies, they don't sell the shares directly to the customers, to the shareholders. It is through the banks. So this is one of the function of industrial development bank, that they underwrite the shares issued by public limited companies. Purchase of debentures and bonds. This is also one of the function of industrial development bank. Let us go next. The next type of bank is exchange banks. Now what are these exchange banks? Let us see. The exchange banks as well as large commercial banks facilitates foreign exchange transactions. So they are mostly basically dealing in exchanging of foreign transactions. So of course some commercial banks also are dealing in this. I can give you one example, State Bank of India. Then there are certain other examples like Barclays Bank, Bank of Tokyo, etc. These are the examples of exchange banks. Their functions are enlisted as follows: the financing of foreign trade transactions, then issue of letter of credit LC. This we have seen last year in the import-export business. The procedures we have gone through, in that we come across the word letter of credit. Discounting of bills of exchange. Before going ahead, I just wanted to ask you, what is letter of credit? Actually, I have given a small note below that it is an assurance guarantee by the importer's bank to give away the amount, to remit the amount to the exporter through his bank on maturity. So it is the assurance by the importer's bank, the one who is importing the goods or material. So that bank of his will be remitting the amount to the exporter after it becomes mature. Then discounting of bills of exchange, remittances, money transactions, giving money of dividend, interest and the profits, etc. Through them it is being performed. So these were the functions of exchange banks. The next bank is Regional Rural Bank. The regional rural banks were established in 1975. This question may come in MCQ in the final exam of HSC, that regional rural banks were established in dash dash. So if you write the correct answer 1975, definitely you are going to get 1 mark. These banks are sponsored by the large public sector banks. They are supported by large public sector banks. The capital of these regional rural banks is contributed by central government. It is 50% of share by central government, 15% of share by state government, and the sponsored banks, that is the public sector banks, they hold 35% of the shares of regional rural banks. So this is about the type regional rural banks, RRB, which was established in 1975. The RRBs mobilize deposits primarily from rural semi-urban areas and provide loans, provide advances, mostly to those small and marginal farmers, those who are deprived of, those who are economically backward, the agricultural laborers, or you can say the skilled workers or artisans, rural artisans, those who do the skill work, whatever it may be. So the regional rural bank, they basically provide funding to these people, advances to these people. Next bank is savings bank. Now in savings bank, the main objective is to encourage the savings amongst the people, especially in rural areas, to make it sure to stimulate the people in rural area to save money. So that is the main objective of savings bank. Example of such bank include the postal saving bank, the commercial banks and cooperatives banks, where the savings are being boosted. It is being taught to the people to save the money, encouragement of people to save, make their tendency towards savings. That is what the main objective. So this is savings bank. Next type of bank is investment bank. These banks provide financial and advisory assistance to their customers. Their clients generally include the business firms and the government organizations. They try to give the assistance, advisory to their customers. The investment banks facilitates mergers. Now, mergers is unification, putting them together, and acquisitions, the purchases, by undertaking research and providing advice on investment decisions. So the investment banks may give advice to the business firms, to the governments, for the mergers of different enterprises, for the purchases of different undertakings, but it is after the research and then only they provide the advice on the investment decisions. So this is the main function of investment bank, you can say. Then usually the investment banks do not directly deal with the general public. We have seen in the previous slide that they deal with the business enterprises, business firms and the government together. Next type of banks is the specialized banks. What are these specialized banks? These are the banks which satisfy to the requirements and provide overall support for setting up a business in a specific area. Some specialized banks are enlisted below. The first type in specialized banks is Export and Import Bank. This also we have seen in 11th grade, that is EXIM, which supports the export-import business. In detail we will see. The Small Industries Development Bank of India, SIDBI. About this particular specialized bank also we have learned in detail in previous grade 11th standard. The National Bank of Agricultural and Rural Development is the third specialized bank, that is also called as NABARD. We have seen this is the apex bank in rural area which give the funds or support, economic support rather, to the agricultural and rural development. So this is one of the apex bank in rural area. So these three we have seen that they are the specialized banks which try to gratify the requirements, satisfy the requirements and give away the overall support for setting up a business in a specific area. As I told, we will see it in detail. The EXIM Bank, that is Export and Import Bank. This bank provides the financial assistance to the exporters and importers, which we have seen in 11th standard. Why I am always telling this? Because you need to see that you have the 11th class book and you go through it again for the detailed information about EXIM and the functions as the principal financial institution. For what? For coordinating the working of institutions engaged in financing the export and import of goods and services with a particular view perception to promote the country's international trade. So what is this EXIM Bank? It gives away the financial assistance to the exporters and importers, as well as its function is the principal financial institution. It coordinates the working of institutions engaged in financing the export and import of goods and services. It helps them, it advises them, it talks about the market situation worldwide with the particular perception for promoting the country's international trade. So it is a big support to the import and export business, you can say. Then comes SIDBI, that is Small Industries Development Bank of India. This was set up on 2nd April of 1990 under an act of Indian Parliament. It acts as the principal financial institution, the chief financial institution for promotion, financing and the development of MSME, that is micro, small and medium enterprise sector. Also for coordination of functions of the institutions which are engaged in the similar activities, which are the institutions which are also engaged in promoting and financing the MSMEs. So this SIDBI, it tries to do the financing to these sectors. So it is one of the important bank which is being established by a particular act in 1990 by the Parliament, Indian Parliament. SIDBI. The next one is National Bank of Agricultural and Rural Development, NABARD, which also comes under specialized banks. As I told, this is an apex institution for financing agriculture and rural sector the highest institution for financing in rural area, you can say. There is one MCQ which may come. The NABARD is dash institution for financing agriculture and rural sector. So the correct answer should be Apex, and you may earn 1 mark. Or the question might come like an apex institution for financing. NABARD is an apex institution for financing for dash sector. So the answer could be agricultural and rural sector, and you are going to earn 1 mark. The NABARD provides both short-term and long-term credit through the regional rural banks, RRBs, which we have seen already. They work in rural areas. The NABARD is concerned with policy planning also and operations relating to the agricultural credit and the credit for the other activities in rural India. So it's a big support in agricultural field as well as the activities which are being conducted in rural India to earn livelihood. So the NABARD is concerned with making the policy planning and operations. NABARD also provides finance to the financial institutions, and it hardly gives the finance to the individuals. So through RRB mostly it might be working. So this is what about the specialized bank, that is NABARD. Here we come to an end of today's lecture. Hope you all have understood the topic types of banks. We learnt almost 9 types. In that we saw commercial banks, we saw the specialized banks. Under specialized banks also we saw the different types. Then we saw the RRB. So these were the types of banks. We saw savings banks also. We saw industrial development banks. So please go through this PowerPoint show again and try to understand this topic, that is types of banks. Now, my dear one, in the next lecture you will be learning about the new models of banking. What are the new models of banking talks about? You will be coming across the primary functions of commercial banks, which we have seen in the very first type of banks, commercial banks, but it was not in detail. You will see it in detail in the coming lecture. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. I hope you have understood today's topic, that was types of banks. If any query, feel free to put a message to me on my personal WhatsApp. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.